Now you have your list of processes. The next step is to identify subject matter experts and process owners. So first, I'm going to differentiate between what those two things are, right? A subject matter expert is the person who knows this process better than anybody. In most cases, they're the ones who actually do it. The frontline employee who is doing this process every single day. Now, your process owner is the individual who is accountable for the results of that process. Often they are the manager, or maybe even 2 levels up, director of the subject matter expert who does the process. Sometimes, if you have a flatter hierarchy, it might be the same person who is both the subject matter expert and the owner. But it is important to differentiate between who the expert on how this process is currently done is and who the owner, or who is accountable for what this process is. So when you go out and you look at each of these individual processes, you're going to use that in tandem with your functional org chart, and you're going to identify accountability at an ownership level for each process. There's not really a good way to do that other than just having conversations with functional leaders. But what you want is you want the director of IT, or whoever that director is, who should be the owner, to take ownership themselves, document it. Yes, I own this process. I will be accountable for the results of this process. That's very important, because what you want, if you really want to drive your organization forward, is you want to empower your leaders to have ownership, but be fully accountable for the results of the processes that are under their control, right? But you need them to state, both on paper and verbally, I take ownership for this process. I accept that the outcome of this process is my responsibility, right? Then you can talk to them about who the subject matter experts are, who actually does these processes. That's important to get to, because when we get to our next phase of this process, which is process mapping and documenting those core processes, you're going to have to go talk to the subject matter experts, because the subject matter experts are the ones who actually do it. They're the ones who can tell you how it's actually done on a day-to-day basis. And often they're the ones who carry that dirty little secret knowledge in the organization that none of leadership really knows about or wants to acknowledge, but all the frontline employees know this is how these things are actually happening when we're doing our work. And that's very important to uncover if you want to mature that organization. So once you've got your process owner to take ownership and accountability for the process, and they've helped you identify who the subject matter experts are, the people who actually do the process, now you're ready for the next step, which is let's actually document how these processes are done using a process map. And we'll talk about how to do that in the next portion of this training.